What do you personally think of Obama's latest move of keeping troops in Afghanistan still?
I think I mentioned at the earlier panel, it's like that whole definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. You can stay there for forever and keep propping up the Afghan troops, and we saw what happened when the Taliban, a few hundred of them, rolled into Kunduz and all the Afghan security forces took off. Those guys who enlist in the Afghan security force want to live to cash that paycheck. Different motivation than the guy that wants to blow himself up to get to heaven. And that's why we're not going to win there. And that was the old quote about Vietnam. Why can't our gooks fight like their gooks? It's because they're not motivated to. And it was the same, the Iraqi army disappeared. And that, again, we should point this out, that was all a fix. One of the things that we learned in our captivity being moved around in the north of Iraq was how much collusion there was between the insurgents and the police force. They all had their cousins or their brothers, they all knew what was going to happen. I mean, if the Americans weren't present, then these guys they knew that we were hostages in the vehicles, but they were treating these guys like heroes, giving them bullets, giving them coffee or whatever it was that they gave them. So, I mean, it was open. And when that rolled over for ISIS, I mean, put yourself in that situation. If you think ISIS really is a bunch of beheading evildoers coming for you, you've got all these American Hummers all gassed up. You've got machine guns with belts of ammo in them. Why would you run away from that? Even if you were going to flee, wouldn't you take that with you? But there's thousands of Hummers with we basically, in one fell swoop, armed and equipped the entire ISIS force. That was not a coincidence. Because any soldier, even if he was really afraid of ISIS, would probably keep the Hummer and keep the machine gun for the sake of his own family. So that's it. Not knowing who you're playing with or who you can trust is a very dangerous game. And that's what we've been doing, I mean, especially America in Iraq and Afghanistan.
To listen to the rest of the audio recordings from the 2015 Casey Research Summit, click below.